Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by European Green Transition CEO Aidan Lavelle. Aidan, good to speak with you this morning. I believe you have some good news coming out of your copper tailings recycling project in Cyprus. What have you announced today?
Thank you, Stephen. Yes, we've announced some results from our first results from the Cyprus Tailings Recycling Project. It's called the Limni Project in Western Cyprus. We took 68 samples there during the initial due diligence phase. Those included 5 samples of a sulfate crust on the pit floor, and they've shown that there is acid-soluble copper there between 0.4 and 0.9% copper in those samples, and that actually proves that the water circulating in the pit is leaching copper from the oxidized tailings, and it's basically dissolving the copper. But more interestingly, we actually identified a lot of gold potential at the site. So of the 9 rock samples we took around the edge of the pit from waste rock, they came back at a surprisingly good grade of gold at 0.7 grams per ton, and we had samples up to 1.5 grams per ton as well. So that shows that there's unrecognized gold potential at the site in Limni, and gold was probably never looked at before when this project was mined between the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Aidan, what do these results mean in terms of your strategy to recover meaningful amounts of copper from the site?
Yeah, so these results give us the confidence to progress to the next phase of due diligence. So they show that copper is oxidized in the tailings, and that the groundwater, which is acidic because of all the sulfur present there, is actually leaching the copper and mobilizing it. We see that in the blue water that discharges from the pit during the wet seasons. And so it brings us a step closer to testing the concept, and gives us further evidence that the copper could potentially be recovered, and we could get to near-term revenue generation by treating that water.
So Aidan, what are the next steps for the Limni project?
The next steps for the Limni project are to progress the due diligence with low-cost sampling. Cyprus is a very cost-effective place to work. We can do trenching and further water sampling at very low cost, and that will give us more representative samples and help us advance the concept of testing the dissolved copper that's in the water, and seeing if it is viable to extract that and get to a near-term revenue generation from the project.
Well, Aidan, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Stephen.
That's European Green Transition CEO Aidan Lavelle.